Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Matt, and this is Vintage Revival. This is going to be the first video in a series today with Project Cheap Jeep. So I picked this up about a month ago, about 2.5 hours away from me here. A friend of a friend had it for sale, and let's take a look, and we'll go through the project. Alright, so what it is a 2000 Jeep Wrangler TJ. It is the 4-liter automatic. It came with a hard top, obviously. Also came with a brand new soft top in the matching color, in the box, never used, with the framework. Came with a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. It's got 179,000 miles on it. Runs like a top. Drives great. But as most of you who are already watching this already know, she's rusty. And I mean, she's rusty. So this is the driver's side fender. Not a big deal. It's a bolt-on part. I'm not even worried about. Okay, driver's side fender. Same, but worse. Again, bolt-on part. Not a big deal. The windshield hinges, both are pretty crusty. I'm going to replace them. They're pretty cheap. I can paint them when I paint the fenders in. Not a big deal. This is the Sahara model, so it has the lower rocker covers. I'm afraid to find out what's behind there. I might just leave them alone. There is a little bit of a spot there that I haven't decided if I'm going to address just yet. I don't want to restore this thing. A little bit there, you know, stone chip stuff, I'm sure, is what happened there. It's actually very clean inside. It did come with WeatherTech floor mats. You know, no check engine light, which I guess is a big deal on these. But it's actually very nice inside. Back seat is covered as well. I got it flipped up right now. I'm going to be taking the top off at some point. Pretty nice Jeep, I guess. I've never owned one. I've never really worked on one before. It did have a spare tire and everything. I just took it off just to get it out of my way. Of course, receiver hitches rusted in, that kind of thing. And then we've got that, which honestly, that's a very, very easy patch. Not worried about that at all. This side is pretty nice. So really no issues there, but let's get underneath. That's kind of a telltale sign right there. Actually, let's look inside first. So she's yeah. Both sides are pretty much that way. This side is worse, but yeah. So I have a full set of floor pans coming for it and torque boxes. Actually have the frame pieces for it. This is typical Wrangler stuff, I guess, guys. I got a set of them here. I got the middle supports here. I did not go with the safety cap pieces, only because, well, price was one of them, of course, but the driver's side really isn't that bad. I may not even need that center cap on there, although I will put it on anyways. But I just thought that the safety cap was a more invasive repair, more than what I think this needs at this point. So, you know, I've been watching lots of videos on YouTube, and they've all been saying, you know, watch out for the front of your frame. I don't know if you guys see that up. The front is really good. The front control arm mounts are good. The rear of the frame is good. But let's go under and take a look, shall we? So when I brought it home, that was tied around the skid plate, and I thought, oh, well, that's not a big deal, it's just a skid plate. Nope, that's actually the cross member that holds everything up. So I now have a ratchet strap in place, holding that up. I haven't been driving it. That's torque box. Yep. She's pretty crunchy. There's the floor. But this all looks, you know, surprisingly good. I don't see any cracks. It's weird because there's paint on the frame yet in a lot of places, but I mean, the bottom of the tub is just roached. Just roached. Here's the, see, like, this is the inside. The right rear control arm mounts. They're not terrible. Until you get right about there. So, duh, that's why I've got the pieces. You know, not a big deal. The other side is the same but worse. But this is, you know, I guess this is very typical stuff. There's actually a channel, More Fab, that does a ton of these, and he uses the safety caps because the ones he's doing on the East Coast are really, really bad. But yeah, so this is going to be Project Cheap Jeep, but this thing otherwise is like super, super good underneath. Like, doesn't leak any oil, doesn't drip anything. It's pretty good, honestly. Brakes have been gone through. So it's pretty good. I mean, I've never owned a Jeep, like I said, but I'm really excited about this. My goal today is to first get off the floor, which is always good. But my goal today is to actually get underneath here with the needle scaler, and I'm gonna take the needle scaler to the whole frame and really see what I got. Then I'm gonna take my long blowgun extensions and I'm gonna blow the frame out as best I can. At that point, I'm gonna evaluate if I have the frame clean enough. Otherwise, I'm gonna drive this thing to town and go to the self-serve pressure washer, and I'm gonna try and pressure wash the frame out. Now, I'm kind of on the fence about that, only because everything's dry right now. It's bone dry. And I'm not going to be starting on the actual frame repair on this until after I finish a gas pump for my dad. So this is going to be part one, and there's going to be a delay, a pause for a while. Unless I save this video and put them all uploaded at the same time. Who knows? But the more I think about it, the more I think I'm just going to blow it out the best I can, because I'm going to be cutting the frame apart, so I'm going to have more access as the project proceeds. I don't really want to get the frame wet if I don't have to, because that's how this all happens, you know. So I've already convinced myself that that's worst case scenario. I think when I roll this thing outside and just take an hour or whatever it takes and just blow all the crust out of the frame, and then go from there. But I'm going to show you here on the whiteboard. These Jeeps, maybe because I haven't really done any wheeling in this thing, or really even actually driven it other than on and off the trailer and around my yard, these things bring stupid money, like stupid money. And I'm going to share with you every receipt, every major purchase for this project. That's why we're calling it Project Cheap Jeep. My boys actually call it the Heap. We'll show them. So here we go. I'm going to show you on the whiteboard. Okay, so here we go. Yes, I paid $1,000 for this. I thought that was a pretty damn good deal, even if I had to part it out, which it runs and drives, so I'm not going to part it out. I'm going to fix it now that I know what they're worth and how awesome they are. So I've paid $1,000 for it, cash, approximately $100 in fuel there and back. Of course, I bought lunch for myself and my dad and my son, so $50 for lunch. I have the frame repair parts purchased. They're here for $200. The floor pans and torque boxes are supposed to be here, I believe, today or Monday. I got $400 in those, and it's all 4 floor pans and the torque boxes. I do need to buy body mounts yet. I haven't yet, only because I'm considering doing like maybe 1.5 inch body lift. I don't know. So I haven't purchased that yet. I mean, it's $100 or whatever, so not a big deal. So as of right now, I have $1,750 in this. I haven't registered it, so I'm going to include that as well. I also bought a brand new welder for this project, so I'm going to add that into here too. I paid less than $400. It's a Yes welder, 250 DS. I'll probably have a video on that. I'm convinced that they're pretty damn good, so I'm going to add that into this total at all. My goal is to have this thing done, like done, finished, the way I want it, on the road for $3,500 tops. So I think that's very doable. I haven't decided if I'm going to paint the whole thing yet, because if I'm going to use it as its intended purpose, I want to wheel it. And does it pay to paint it if I'm going to be running it through the woods and doing stuff? Probably not. Obviously, I'm going to paint the new parts. I am going to patch the rust. The inside, I think I'm going to delete the carpet, at least the floor carpet, and I'm going to have it Linexed. And doors are going to be off in the summer. I'm going to just put some kind of a like bikini top on it and polish it up a bit, and that's, I'm thinking, going to be it. I'll probably, when I patch this back here, I'm going to have to take the tailgate hinges apart. The bottom of the gate's got some, but it's covered with the spares on it, so I'm not really too worried about that. I'll probably get those covers that stick on the back here after this is patched, just so I don't have to paint the whole thing. There's little stuff like that where it's like, well, I'll just paint the back, and I think most of this stuff would all get covered by those covers. Other than this spot right here, which I maybe will just brush touch it, unless I find an issue from the inside once I'm in here replacing stuff, because I mean, yeah, that's my foot. So I really don't know. This thing should come apart pretty damn easy because there's like nothing left of the floor. I'm pretty sure this side of the body is resting on the running boards right now. I was going to take them off, but I think I'm going to wait at least until I'm doing the frame, because I might eliminate them. They're kind of in my way when I get in and out. But see, like this kind of stuff, it's scraped up. And another thing, being a Sahara, if I paint the whole body, I kind of have to paint all the plastics, and I hate painting plastic. So, and then I gotta buy decals and all this stuff. So, like, I really think I'm just gonna replace fenders left and right, windshield hinges left and right, and then I'm gonna see about getting, I don't know if they make like a mirror bracket that bolts to this, or if it's a different hinge. I don't know for sure yet. I thought this was kind of weird, that I don't know if there's just a screw missing there, or I don't know. But again, like, I don't want to restore this thing, because every freaking car I have, I want to restore it, and then I don't want to, this, I want to use it. I want to go mud running and stuff and go through the woods and stuff. But this thing's cool. It's got the factory fog lights on it, and these hooks, which are cool. I've been looking at bumpers. I did buy some H4 upgrade headlights actually for one of my classic cars, but I discovered they will fit in here, so I might put them in here, and then that would add like $100 to my build total. But I don't know, this thing's pretty rad. Like, I'm really digging it, and the more I look at it and the more I look at videos on YouTube, this one's not that bad. I mean, it's bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, here, I'll show you the outside of the frame on this side. So, that's the frame on this side. It's really not terrible. And the guy that I bought it from, this was actually, he had it like 4 or 5 years. He basically just used it to run into town and get the mail, and then he used it to check his game cameras and his game trails. And he actually replaced this Jeep with the side-by-side. So it didn't get a ton of miles from him, but he did put a new radiator in it and a heater core and brake lines, stuff like that. So I mean, mechanically this thing should be pretty good. But I'm excited about it. And this is I've never owned a Jeep. I've never really even worked on one. But I love green, which is perfect. I love a green Jeep. So it just needs some tidying up and your basic frame repair. If I were to paint it, I would let my wife pick the color, because probably would be end up being her. She's already told me if this thing was a stick, she would have laid claim to it. But it is an automatic, so another option for this would be is if we both like the vehicle enough to keep it. This would be my wife's winter vehicle, and then I would park her vehicle in the shed for the winter. She's got a brand new Chevy Blazer, so I would save that, put that away and save it. Yeah, so as of right now, I've got my skid plate kind of ratcheted up there, the ratchet strap, because I was going to drive it. But like I said, I've just kind of talked myself out of getting it wet, because it is dry right now. So see how I do on getting it blown out, and I'll bring you another video with the carnage in the driveway after I blow it out, or the shop floor here, whatever. I'll probably do it outside. But yeah, Project Cheap Jeep is off and going here for a little bit. Keep you posted as we go. This is a winter project. I don't plan on having it done until maybe March. One thing I gotta say about this thing, I love how small it is. I mean, like, my garage is 20, I go this way, I think my garage is about 24 deep. Like, I could damn near park 2 of these in here, side, end to each. All my other cars are freaking huge. I've got big 50s and 60s cars, so they're like huge. So this is amazing. I love this little thing. It's pretty cool. I can see where you guys, your Jeepers, like, just fall in love with these. I actually dig the wheels. They're very what I would call period correct for a 2000 model, and they're in really good shape. That was the spare that was on it, the 311050, which obviously must fit on here because that was the spare. And then I did pick up a set of 16-inch wheels and tires. I'll show you here. I did pick up a set of 16-inch wheels and tires, thinking that the bolt pattern was the same. They're not. These are 5-on-5. These are 5-on-4.5. So I'm kind of, I mean, these tires aren't bad. I got them for nothing. Got a set of 4. So I can't use them. I can't use the rims, but I could potentially use the tires. The tires that are on here now are, I think they're like 950s. No, they're 30 by 950. So they're good, but they're cracked. I don't know. Tires are the least of my worries, but like I dig the look. I do like the black wheel, the original wheel painted black, but I dig the look. It just screams early 2000s, but it's cool. I'm really stoked about it, and I really think that 3500 start to finish, because I'm doing the labor myself, is very possible, other than the Line-X in the tub, which I don't know what that's going to cost me. I know I can get a truck bed done for about $500. I could also do it in Raptor, but I'm going to have $200 to $300 in product to do that. So if I can do it with Line-X for $5, I probably would spend the extra money for that, and then not put carpet back in it, obviously. So anyways, I'm going to get to work here, and I'll bring you an update later today, or when I see you next time. Thanks again, guys. hope you are enjoying your projects. Have a good one.